are now going to decide on the policy and the structure of European society. And for those Irish people who genuinely voted yes to it, and those young people I saw jumping up and down with joy, like a goal had been scored in a cup final when the vote came through yes. If you ever watch this, you people that did that, you are going to regret what you did for the rest of your life. Because what's going to happen now, we're already seeing it, Henrik, is once this power is secured, we've only got the Czech Republic now to go through it, etc. We are going to see the speed of European central control just be unleashed. This European control system, as we speak, is like a series of 100-meter runners at the start of an Olympic 100-meter final. It's like, on your marks, get set, and now they're waiting. And as soon as this control system is through and this treaty is all intact, the gun's going to go off. And in all directions, massive centralization of power, dictatorship from the center is going to happen. We're going to see things like a European database where all the countries pool their database. We're going to see European laws, European law enforcement, etc., etc. And you people in Ireland, good on you who voted no, but you voted yes. Young people, I'm afraid the celebrations are going to be very short. Because you know what the Irish have done, those that voted yes? They've voted to never have the option of voting again. Because what this means is, from now on, with the changes in the structure, we have literally a European government that has almost total power. And when you think that even now, before the treaty comes in, something like 75% of laws in the UK originate in the European Union, well, what's going to happen now? And it's been coming a long time, and some people have seen it, and some people have been watching the soap and the sports.
Speaking about law, the law text of the European Union, or the body of the law, acquis communautaire, or whatever is the French term, probably butchering that, but anyway, it contains about 80,000 pages of law, according to some sources. Then this UK think tank, which is critical of the European Union, called Open Europe, recently did a check on this and claimed that it actually is 170,000 pages long, the body of the law in the European Union. So with that, having said that, the New World Order pretty much is potentially not the crackdown that we first might have thought it was, with tear gas and tasers, batons, rubber bullets, what have you, advanced technology, so-called non-lethal weapons and so forth. Okay, that happens now and again, like in Pittsburgh, but generally it seems like the New World Order is more about rules, regulations, bylaws, do's and don'ts, ink and paper, and in a way, in the future panopticon, if you will, even to make a move or to be able to do something, you have to file a motion or turn in a paper or something like that. And that seems to be what is happening right now. We're being entangled in this web of laws, pretty much. Maybe you can comment on that.
Well, the web of laws is a very good term, because I have an image that an artist friend of mine, Neil Haig, knocked out for me and produced for me, which I use in my talks, which is of a spider's web with the spider entangling human beings in the web. And it's a very good analogy, because what you're looking at is, in all areas of human activity, the do's and don'ts are coming closer and closer, becoming more and more fine detail. And the point is to tangle you to the web like a fly to the web, so you can't move. And of course, ludicrously detailed bureaucracy is part of that. I spoke in Croatia a couple of times in the last couple of years, who are in the process of negotiating entry to the European Union. And I was saying there that it's like tanks and troops all lining up on your border, and they're waiting to invade as soon as they're given the go-ahead, and then the invasion comes. But the point I was making is that invasion is not troops and it's not tanks. It's bureaucracy. It is laws, rules and regulations dictating the fine detail of your lives. And I was pointing out, you know, you may think, oh yeah, join the European Union, it's everything good and everybody else is in it. Look, 1 year after Croatia joined, if that, they'll be going, we didn't agree to this. What's going on? European law, mate. Well, you can't do that. We've never done European law, mate. And this whole thing about legislation and law is very, very important, because what they do is, first of all, meanings of words are different in the way they are used in legislation than they're used in everyday life. Therefore, what appears to say something, if you read it, says something else in legalese. And the other thing is, as you point out from your question, is they explode these words and clauses and subclauses across pages and pages and pages of legislation. And the politicians who vote for it have never read it. We've got a guy in, this is just one example, it's a pathetic example, but it's a very good one, called Kenneth Clarke, who is in the Conservative Party and was in the Conservative government of Margaret Thatcher and others, who actually said openly on BBC Radio, while campaigning for the Maastricht Treaty, which was a big step towards where we are, he openly said on the radio that he'd not read the Maastricht Treaty. And so what happens is, and this is not just in the European Union legislation, it's done in all legislation, that they vote for it, and then something will happen. Oh, I didn't vote for that. Yeah, oh, over here. Get your glasses on. Right. Look down here. Subclause 7, stroke 3. There it is. I voted for you. Voted for that. You didn't read it, but you voted for it. And this is one of the key reasons for political parties. It's an important area, this is. If we voted for people on the basis of their character, then there is no unifying force once they get to Parliament to get them to vote in blocks. So we don't want, in terms of this cabal, they don't want independent politicians. They had to find a way, they've long done it of course, of herding them together where they could be centrally controlled. So they introduced this whole idea of parties, a political version of the European Union. I guess if you look at its structure, you've now got a group of people who are answerable to a leader. And the leader then, and the leadership, and those in the shadows behind the leadership, dictate how all the people in that party, in a so-called democratic free country, are going to vote in relation to some legislation or other. And then there's the carrot and the stick, that if there's rebels who will not vote as the leadership says, then they know that their political careers in terms of rising up the ranks is going to be severely curtailed. Because they know that, the politicians in the party who are there for power, there for prestige, they're not there through values, they will toe the party line and vote for legislation they've not read, and even if they did, they didn't agree with, but they'll vote for it anyway. And so we have this system in Britain, the whip system, they have it in most other countries too, of course, where these guys from the parties go round and threaten people in their own party if they don't vote with the party line. So what this means is that we have this ludicrous idea that we live in a free country because of a democracy,